Ministry of Finance commences budget preparation process. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Wednesday, September 7th, I am Rikisha St. Louis. The Ministry of Finance has commenced the budget preparation process. On Wednesday, government stakeholders converged virtually to deliberate on key aspects of the annual budget and address current and future challenges. The government retreat is the first in a series of consultations to be held with members of the public and various sectors to chart the way forward for the next fiscal year. Prime Minister and Minister for Finance Honorable Deacon Mitchell is optimistic that with the right mix of policies and programs, the government's transformational agenda can be realized. He said Grenadians must be cognizant of the global forces like the war in Ukraine, high inflation, and the recession that can have negative impacts and affect policy decision-making.
I believe the right policies can position Grenada to be prepared for whatever outcome that has to be met. I am an optimist. I remain hopeful about continued economic growth here at home and our ability to create sustainable jobs for our citizens. Our aim is to transform Grenada, and one of the critical measures in doing so is the prudent and strategic allocation of our scarce resources. It is therefore imperative that we implement the right mix of policies, projects, and programs to enable the transformation that is so needed. The annual budget is therefore a most important public policy tool, and its preparation must be done with utmost integrity and seriousness. I urge each of you to dig deep, ask the difficult questions, and propose new ideas and solutions as we engage in this important activity.
Prime Minister Mitchell added that the 2023 budget presentation will focus on strategic areas that are aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals.
Strengthening our healthcare access, bolstering education and training, building resilient infrastructure, expanding the productive and service sectors, particularly agriculture, agribusiness, tourism, manufacturing, and diversifying the economic base, including building out the blue, green, and yellow economies, accelerating digital transformation, accelerating renewable energy transition, social protection and empowerment of all citizens.
Permanent Secretary Mike Sylvester, who outlined the focus of the retreat, said emphasis will be placed on programs and projects to be financed, priorities, possible risk that can affect the country's outlook.
We are going to deliberate on the macroeconomic context, the recent macroeconomic developments, both fiscal and real sector. We are also going to deliberate on the assumptions that will inform the 2023 budget numbers and so on. We are also going to deliberate on the major material risks that would affect the outlook and how that will shape the budget for next year. We are also going to discuss the strategic priorities or strategic direction and priorities for the 2023 budget. We are also going to discuss the policies and programs and projects and how they align to the 2023 budget and, of course, the medium term and so on. Importantly, we are going to have a discussion on what we need to do as a group to ensure that the budget is timely, that the budget is accurate, realistic, and credible.
Public budget consultations will commence in the coming weeks. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell is appealing to Grenadians to use the lessons of Hurricane Ivan in 2004 to be more vigilant and prepared, especially during the hurricane season. He was speaking on the observance of the 18th anniversary of Hurricane Ivan. Following the passage of the Category 3 hurricane on September 7th, 2004, 80% of buildings were damaged, including several schools and churches. The estimated cost of the damage sustained was valued at US $900 million. On Wednesday, Prime Minister Mitchell said the impact of the hurricane continues to serve as an example to Grenada and the Caribbean on the importance of disaster preparedness and the need to bolster climate resilience and adaptation of small island states. September 7th, 2004, he says, is forever etched in the memories of Grenadians.
As we reflect on the anniversary of Hurricane Ivan, let us also reflect on the lessons learned. There are things we can all do as individuals to safeguard our families and homes, including identifying the shelters nearest to you, stocking essential supplies for yourself and your family, cutting overhanging trees, and keeping our insurance payments up to date, particularly property insurance. The government continues to work with development partners to mitigate the effects of climate change and to mobilize resources towards climate resilience and adaptation building. And I want to remind us all that we need to continue to do our part to ensure that we are prepared as we are still during the hurricane season.
This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
Prepare for hurricane. Prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight, candles will do. Tin stuff, garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane. Your hair, prepare for hurricane.
Welcome back. Minister for Agriculture, Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives, Senator Adrian Thomas, says government is committed to continue working with the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, Ika, to improve the rural population through the transformation of agriculture. The Ministry of Agriculture, in collaboration with a number of farmers' organizations and agriculture stakeholders, joined Ika on Wednesday at its Accountability Seminar at the National Stadium. The objective was to report on actions implemented and the results achieved in shared planned initiatives for stakeholders and developmental partners, and to enable reviews and feedback towards the development of the organization. Minister Thomas commended Ika for the contributions made towards the development of agriculture in Grenada.
As a government, we pledge our full support and commitment to working with Ika and look forward to strengthening our partnership and friendship as we journey on the road of transformation. We look forward to tapping into the vast institutional experience of Ika for support in best practices and technical expertise to help us tackle and find solutions for the challenges that the agricultural sector currently faces. We look forward to the continued contribution of Ika in the areas of capacity building, technology transfer, strategic planning, and more.
Ika's representative in the Eastern Caribbean states, Greg Rollins, says the organization's agenda is consistent with the government's priorities of building a resilient agriculture sector.
Partnerships continue to be a key feature of our approach to the delivery of technical cooperation in the country. And we therefore wish to recognize and thank both our traditional partners as well as our new partners for joining us on this quest to support the development of a resilient, competitive and sustainable agricultural sector. Our progress over the last year would not have been possible without you, our development partners and stakeholders, who have collaborated with us to deliver the activities undertaken.
The formation of the Backyard Gardeners Network Initiative and assistance rendered to different agricultural programs and initiatives were highlighted in the annual report presented by National Specialist Derek Charles. The initiatives received high commendation from participants. Lena Belgrave of the Bureau of Standards says thank you to Ika.
It's a lot of work that was done in 2021 with only 2 staff members, Mr. Charles and Ms. Filbert. So it shows that a lot of work has been done by this organization and they need to be commended. Ika Grenada.
Finally, in the news, the Ministry of Sports congratulates the Grenada Men's Netball Team on placing 3rd at the inaugural America's Netball Men's Championship held in St. Vincent and the Grenadines from September 1st to the 4th. The team returned to Grenada on Tuesday after participating with 4 other teams. On arrival at the Maurice Bishop International Airport, Sports Coordinator Colin Peters was on hand to congratulate the team on behalf of the Minister and the Ministry of Sports on their achievement.
Congratulations and welcome home. We want you to say thank you for representing us and representing us well. I've seen many faces here that I know in different sports, but you are able to bring yourself together as a team and go there and perform well. So thank you very much, and give yourself a round of applause.
Captain of the team, Libert Alexander, says thanks to all who provided support in making it possible for the team to participate in the first of its kind regional championship and being able to deliver at their best against more experienced teams. He said they will be training harder to improve on their performance for future competitions.
I believe that the Spice Boys would have represented well. We would have implemented, the skills and strategies that was actually manifested to us through our training session. We went out there with the mindset that hard work pays off, and that was actually our motto going into our final game against Antigua, right? So all in all, we are happy to be back, and we are proud of ourselves. We want to say a special thanks as a team to the association, to all our sponsors, Ministry of Sports, and all the other persons who would have actually, our stakeholders who would have actually supported us in a great way. We want to advise that we want you to continue to work along with us as we aim to lift the banner of netball in Grenada. More so, this team I'm speaking about, the male team. Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip. All right.
Most valuable player for the Grenada team went to Darren Oxford, who says taking part in the inaugural America's Netball Men's Championship was a great experience for himself and the team.
The tournament in itself was a really good experience. I feel like it was an eye-opener because we get to see teams that are way more advanced than us, and teams that is experienced and the out there. And so it was a really good experience for us. I feel like with the short preparation time that we had, I felt like we did pretty well. We represented well, and I think we are basically the pioneers for men's netball in Grenada.
Team Jamaica secured the first position, followed by St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and of course Grenada placed third. That story just ended the national report for Wednesday, September 7th, recapping the top story. Ministry of Finance commences budget preparation process. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Rikisha St. Louis.